All right, so sorry about
Apologies for the interrupted break. It
the
seems the white
break there.
man does not want us talking about the real issues here today, ladies and gentlemen. But let's try pick up where we were. Where were we? Uh,
We were talking about
importance.
how you went through this phase where you went through a leopard print wife beater.
What? No,
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 we were
no,
not
no,
talking about
no,
that at
no,
all. What we,
no.
Actually,
what
no,
we were
it's
talking
not.
Yeah, but
about
you see,
is
you do a Liverpool white beater. Tell
is
me,
No,
I
it's
is
okay.
never in my life.
is
we did talk about it though because in Cyberpunk 2077, there's two black guys in the new Night City Wire. One's a big black guy with a shotgun, and the other one is like some guy behind by some dumpsters wearing a leopard print wife beater with dreadlocks.
which is okay. So the cyberpunk theme is a very 80s theme, and I
Mm,
would give it license for that because of when it was written.
yeah.
So it has that nostalgia kind of callback. Uh, but the next question that you bring up, Chris, the question that your response begs is, if can if a black creator writes a character badly and stereotypically, what do you do about that?
So we
I
actually
feel we
see
still
this
need to hold them
example.
accountable.
We see this example with Samuel L. Jackson in the Boondocks show. The Huey and Riley. Huey Riley is written stereotypically as a gangster, and Huey is supposed to be an affluent male.
But I think they did that purposely for satirical purposes.
And to
It's
juxtapose.
literally a show about making fun of black people, making us look introspectively at ourselves
At what we do.
in a lighthearted manner.
They did that with
I
the whole
believe for
MLK
that show
episode.
it works, but
Yeah,
you do see other examples where it's like, oh no,
where they're not doing it for that purpose.
yeah, yeah. Which actually brings me to my question. So
Like
this
Uncle
whole
Uncle
cyberpunk,
Ruckus, you know.
oh god, Uncle Ruckus. Uh,
Villa
here's
Lagra.
here's my thing.
Uncle Ruckus.
Let's say we make a game from 18 blah de blah, right? We know where the black people are. They're in chains. Do you include them? Because I'm thinking about cyberpunk, right? And you're saying there's like two black guys, and I'm thinking about Anthem now. I'm thinking about um, all these games, that I've been playing recently, and I'm thinking about background, like NPCs. People maybe interactable, maybe you just walk past them. Not a lot of people of color, unless it's like specifically set in a specific cultural setting or whatever. And I'm wondering, is that uh, on purpose? Sometimes it's like a time thing where they're like, "Ooh, black people at this time were, when they were in chains. Do we really want to show that?" Or is it when it's fictional? When it's like an alien world? Why not, slide it
Like
in the
Assassin's
background or
Creed.
something? Like Assassin's Creed, essentially.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they did the whole one with the Native Americans. Was that Revelations?
Whew.
Because it was set in 1770.
Mm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
So
yeah.
where
They're
are we on
just
that? Do we want more of that? Like time? Because it leads me back to that joke that last time when we were like, black people have always been around, but white people feel like we weren't invented in a specific time
well.
because we
I
were.
feel
Yeah.
like they're getting edited out because they think that the black community is gonna have some backlash on shit that's history. Right?
Mm.
It's like a sore reminder. Oh, you remember when we stole your ancestors and threw them on boats? Let's replay that in Assassin's Creed
Yeah.
where you're
Where you
pirates.
have
You
to
know
get
what I
off the
mean?
boat. You have to get off the boat. Your ancestor. You know.
Yeah, you go to the slave market and you got to do all that because you don't, you know what I mean?
Mm.
Or you don't see any of that. Where's the games that are based off in the 50s and 60s with the civil rights movement? You don't see little mentions of that. The Vietnam games.
Yeah.
Um,
Well, again, I don't think that'll happen until we create it, right? So
Ourselves,
if you
yeah.
want a game with
Hmm.
positive representation, you don't beg another man to do it. You try to do it yourself. But then you run into issues of, well,
uh-huh.
who has the money to develop the video game? Well, so where do you start? You know, where do you start at? Because there's tons of positive um, material for us to draw from.
Mm.
But who has the resources to put $1 million video game into development? Um, because the guy who wrote Cyberpunk isn't the one financing that game. Another company has licensed his intellectual property. So how do we as a community get behind projects and support them to make sure that those positive portrayals that we like are then um, uh, financed and put to the forefront, because we say we want it, but then we buy all the games that treat us like crap. We bought Mortal Kombat to the nth degree, even though it had a negative, black portrayal in it.
With
So
Jax.
yeah, so going forward, do we ally? We have to ally ourselves with people that want to just tell good stories that include people of color, right? That like people are saying, well, why does every miniature have a chick in an iron bikini? You know what I'm saying? It's that same reason, because women aren't the ones making miniatures. And then once you
Yeah.
had women making miniatures, that portrayal of women completely changed, right? And that forced the main companies to change their portrayal also. So until we get into the game and start making things that we want to see, instead of begging somebody else to do it, that's the only time that those changes are going to happen. And to your point, there's not like there's a shortage of material, and I think that the African Game of Thrones would be fantastic, where you see a black king and a black queen, and then all the dukes and
Oh yeah,
princesses are vying for
absolutely.
power, but you would have a black cast of thousands, and so who's going to finance that? Because maybe HBO, because HBO did The Watchmen, and that had the blackest thing on TV, where the Hooded Justice, who wasn't written as a black character originally, and Damon Lindelof and his crew of black and female writers went in there and totally revolutionized that already iconic story, by making Hooded Justice a black guy, literally hiding his blackness, and going out and avenging black people.
Yeah.
Going after the criminal element, and then his granddaughter um, ended up being, the most powerful being in the universe. When she married Doctor Manhattan. Spoiler alert. So, uh,
No.
and also you look at Lovecraft Country, right? Lovecraft was a straight up racist, but uh, we were able to take that. Black writers were able to take that and make Lovecraft Country, which is the blackest thing on TV this year so far. So I think that there's tons of opportunities when you put creative black people not only in front of the camera but behind the camera in the writers room. There's tons of potential to be able to do some innovative stories to entertain everybody, not just black people. Everybody can be entertained from that.
Absolutely, and I think just leading to your point, it's a case of exposure. I myself, and I'm ashamedly admitting this, but I will anyway. I don't know that many black creators because I haven't exposed myself to them, and I think it's important. Whilst we also have a platform like this to do things like that, to say, hey, shout out to this creator, shout out to
Hmm.
this creator, check out this black creator. So I think once we're able to engage ourselves in those circles and open our eyes to those creators, no matter how big or small they are, we start lending our support to people of color, we're going to start seeing a little bit more of their work.
Yeah, and also
And just, yep, go ahead.
upping our game. We have to compete on a global stage with a product
Mm,
that's equal to everybody else's product. And even for this own podcast, I'm going to invest in a microphone so we can have better audio quality, at least on my end. Because I don't want people to look at it and go, "Oh, look at that." You know.
Okay, so you
I'm gonna
flexing
get
on
one too.
us.
I'm
No,
gonna get one
I'm
too.
Oh, this
telling
We
you
man
what
gonna
is
my
get
done
on your level,
what
flexing
Lee.
on us.
We're gonna get on your
no
level. That's what we're gonna do.
what my
No, no,
commitment
but I
is.
respect that though. I
Yeah, what my
respect that.
commitment is to not only talk the talk but walk the walk. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely,
Yeah.
absolutely.
I can't tell you to do something that I'm not willing to do myself if I'm able to do it, right?
Mm.
Does that make
Yeah.
sense?
Yeah.
And
No, no,
just
no. I agree with that.
just speaking about exposure, I just want to where is this dropping? Where are we dropping this? iTunes, Google Podcasts, where specifically, or everywhere?
Yeah, everywhere we can get it on. It ain't costing us money.
Sweet. Okay, check us out there, guys. Again, if you have any comments, questions, please do let us know. We will always look to reply to those on the next time we have the opportunity. Check out the YouTube channel, Gaddis Gaming,
And
the playlist, Who's at the Table.
yeah, and also we need to shout out. Everybody pick their one black creator that you want to highlight today. We can't go without doing that.
I have one. I can't believe I didn't mention this before because I've been watching this guy for a very long time. Just give me a second. You guys mention yours real quick. I need to find him.
Okay.
So I'm gonna pick mine. It's 269. Once again, I think I mentioned in our previous one. He is a black YouTuber, streamer, and he's a co-founder of Eric's Gaming. You can follow him at 269. Like literally, just spell it out, not numerical, but spell it out.
Letters.
The word.
Yeah.
Letters. Yep.
And,
I'm gonna roll with Blurred Without Fear. He has a YouTube channel and he talks about comic books and pop culture and nerd culture in general from a black perspective, and he is not afraid to bring the heat. Blurred Without
that's
Fear.
cool.
Yep.
Mine is for the viewers listening. It's no secret that I'm a huge Monster Hunter fan. I love that game, and a YouTuber that I watch a lot. Sorry, my throat. Fuck. A YouTuber that I watch a lot is called Dear Gamer. He talks a lot about Monster Hunter, but he also talks about many other games. So yeah, Dear Gamer.
Hang on, Lee. What was yours again?
Blurred Without Fear. BLERD Without Fear.
Blurred. Oh.
And he's a prolific YouTuber.
Okay, we'll definitely check those out. My recommendation is slightly different. Not a creator so much as a game. Highly recommend checking out season 1 of the Walking Dead Telltale games. Please, White Riders, right? But this black protagonist, I'm a fan of this guy, Lee. Obviously, they did sacrifice him at the end to move the little white girl's story along. But I thoroughly enjoyed... I did thoroughly enjoy playing him whilst I had him, which is why I'm only recommending season 1. You can play the rest of the seasons if you want, but check out season 1.
Gotcha.
With that, check out a Kickstarter, Empire's Fall, new tabletop game that they're working on at Gaddis Gaming. Check out the website, gaddisgaming.com. And as always, thank you for listening. We will see you guys next time.
And we got another show in the can.
we will see you.
Awesome.